So
What do we have here? Tell me. Tell us.
Smart home energy management system. So it's to create awareness on how much electricity you're using and then how much it costs to run these appliances that are plugged in. So here we have our power meter, and we have an appliance that's the laptop right now connected to it. And this is our Zigbee end device. We work on a Zigbee network. That's a wireless network that we're using. These are end devices, and here's our coordinator. And the coordinator basically is the heart of the Zigbee, so it controls the end devices and it monitors. And he would be able to tell you a little more about the Zigbee network.
Yeah, tell us.
A Zigbee network works on three fundamental devices. There's a coordinator, there's an end device, and there's routers if you want to create a large network. So the coordinator initiates and maintains the network. Pretty much the end devices and the routers cannot function if there isn't one coordinator. The coordinator is also responsible when you add end devices. It's simply plug and play. The coordinator automatically recognizes that an additional end device has been made, or if there was a failure in one end device, it would communicate devices through an alternate path. Now what that means is, traditionally with GSM or 3D technology, it's always the same star topology. So if you want to send a message from one device to another, you have to communicate to the base tower, and then it would send it to another device. But with a Zigbee end device, it's more like a mesh network. It's kind of like a web. So if I want to send a device to one end device, there isn't one path. I can send it to multiple networks, so multiple routers. If one router would go down,
you can use the other one.
the coordinator automatically recognizes that router is down, so it would send the path.
It reminds me of how torrents work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it would communicate. It would send that data packet through another network. So one router goes down, two routers, three routers. That's fine as long as if there's one path left, the coordinator would find that path.
Now you presented the networking fundamentals.
That's the Zigbee. That's how Zigbee works. The end device. One application is smart energy. Now, Zigbee devices have to follow Zigbee and Zigbee Pro protocols from the Zigbee Alliance. IEEE 802.15.4 is specific Zigbee protocol that must be followed based on the IEEE protocol standards. So this is our end device, for example. This is two end devices, and that USB over there with the red light shows communication between the end devices. So one application, for example, is applying it to a power meter. Power meter shows consumption of our laptop over here on a real-time basis. This communicates with the end device. The Zigbee end device recognizes through the serial port that the power meter is monitoring power consumption, and that communicates to the coordinator. Now, we use two software to integrate our system. One is an IAR network shown here. Now this, we had to change the code. It's C and assembly code. You have the assembly here and then the C++, and all the files on the left-hand side are all requirement. There's a tremendous amount of specifications that have to be met for IEEE 802.15.4.
So this laptop is acting as sort of an energy dissipator?
No, that was used to integrate the circuits. This is our GUI demonstration. So you have your additional main menu, and then to simulate, you click on Add Appliance, for example. As you add more end devices, you have more appliances to choose from.
So we have just simulating 4 different appliances.
Right. So you have a lamp, TV. You confirm the selection, and then you use stereo. Exactly. Control appliances, they're automatically set to off. So if I were to turn on, let's say, the lamp and fan, if I go to monitor appliance, it shows me consumption in kilowatts per hour. These are the only two appliances on. Those were the lamp and the fan. And it shows me the cost of cents per hour. So the current cost is automatically updated based on the time of use.
Time
of use pricing. Time of use pricing is displayed here. So off-peak, mid-peak, and on-peak, which are standard Ontario time of use.
So if I'm a household owner or I have a small business, I have this app on my computer. It could be even a mobile version of the same app.
Absolutely. You can take this.
It is on a. This whole software is made on a cloud server, basically. So you can open, like, all we got to do is upload this on a URL, and then you can just
You
open
can
because it's on a
easily
cloud
integrate
server.
our smartphone, and the devices, since Zigbee is a very convenient, easy to use network, you can have the compact device, you have the power sensor and the end device in a compact device. This is just a prototype. You'd obviously make it very easy to use. You plug it into an appliance, plug in multiple appliances to that device itself, and then you automatically can see and have control of the appliances. You also have a trends graph which shows you as you turn them on and off the actual monitors.
From what I get is, you have an apparatus over here, and this is.
You might want to. We
This
have
is just-
open
Oh, sorry.
bronze.
So that's the apparatus, and that's.
That's the
Yes.
appliance. You can plug in your cell phone, a fan, a lamp. See, right now the laptop's using 0.32 kilowatt hour right there.
So this, like the device you made, shows me. Okay, it's using 0.33.
Kilowatt hour.
Kilowatt
so that
hour.
means
Okay.
from time it was turned on, it's used 0.33 kilowatt hour.
So it's actually quantifying how much power I'm using.
Exactly.
And do you have any
Because-
limits on this? Like what's the
No,
maximum
no.
power it can read?
No. It can go really high. Like we can go up to 20 amps.
Okay.
That's enough to.
Now, what people are not aware of is something called phantom power. That's one term to refer to it. What that means is, even if you have, when you turn on your TVs, depending on the size, obviously many features, would consume, let's say it consumes 200 watts per hour. Now, even when that TV is off, it's not really off. It's on standby mode, so it can easily be turned on. Now, you go from 200 watts to 20 watts per hour, even when the TV is off. So, with a device plugged in, and then you attach the appliance to it, that, when you turn off the switch, it creates an open circuit.
When you cut the power, you get zero usage because it actually cuts the circuit itself. It's not the TV's on standby, like it's actually cut the circuit even.
Perfect. And so, like, I get the design now. So I have any appliance.
Yeah.
I connect it up to this device over here.
Yeah.
It shows me how much power it's consuming. It relays that to.
The end device
Yes.
communicates to the
The
coordinator.
coordinator, and then that software gets the reading, and then
And
this
that
software.
shows you how much.
Exactly.
It's all in real time, quick process,
Good.
easy to use, user friendly. The GUI,
But you
like
can
we
try
said,
playing around with it. There's no learning involved with it. It's just very easy plug and play.
it could be integrated to a cell phone, virtually a remote control to all the appliances.
This quantifies how much power you're using, and this system over here processes it to relay it to the.
Sets up the network.
Yes.
Sets up the network.
That's it.
And the thing about a Zigbee network is, the larger the network, you just add more and more routers. The network can be massive. We're talking, the network can monitor an entire university campus like endless. Because it's a web, the larger you want it, you just add multiple
That's
networks.
a really cool thing because I saw another project over there. They're using like their cell phone to make like a lamp go up or down.
So-
but their limitation was they can only connect one lamp, and if they wanted to connect other loads to their system, they would have to like manually reconfigure the network. But this one,
The Zigbee channels, each device has its own channel. It's a 16-bit distinguisher between each device. Now, what that means is, because there's such a large value, such a large number, you can have a very large number of different end devices. Each has its distinct unit separating the devices, and then you have it all on the same channel. The channel has its own spectrum, and this channel can support, it's something like 2 to the 32 devices. It's massive. And this end device, because the Zigbee network's extremely efficient, this currently runs on 2 AA batteries. Now,
You
this
can
device,
just flip that over.
this device, depending on the circuit itself, can
can you flip it over?
Yeah, you can.
So it only has 2.
That's it. 2 AA batteries.
Powering
Power
it.
up the whole
this device
microcontroller.
can run upwards of 2 years without replacing the battery.
Another question, because once you have all this user data, like you're sampling it every second, right? Or what's the sample rate?
Real time.
Every second.
Every sort of second. So how are you going to store it in a database to show
Yes.
customers trends in their power
Yeah,
consumption?
we have a
That's what
usage
the
history.
Usage history.
For the previous 3 months,
So that's
and
going
then
to generate.
We don't have any usage.
and then the
right
trends. The
Okay.
trends graph gives you an actual bar graph, and
Okay.
the user history can be implemented through Excel files, for
Yes.
example, and that gives you a very
Perfect.
in detail of power consumption.
And this could be a real product. Like if you
Yes,
guys
very
like
much so.
actually.
The biggest problem, there are very few companies, and the products are not on a large-scale distributor like Home Depot or Canadian Tire. Once these devices, some companies are doing, they go for $50 per device. Now you'd have to plug that into an outlet, and then you can connect a few appliances. That's still very expensive. If you think of a house which would have 10, 15 outlets, you're talking, $500 to $750. If you can reduce the price per compact device to something like $15, now that's easily something that people will be interested in, because it takes your standard house, which has just regular outlets, and you don't have smart appliances in most households, and you've just created a smart network of monitoring energy in the house. So this is a network made for people who don't have smart appliances. This can be integrated to a Zigbee to a smart meter, and it can also be integrated to smart appliances.
I haven't seen any product like this in the market, so this is a lot of potential. Thanks. Awesome project.
You're welcome.